to talk about deer crossing.
Mission is all that's going on there. Now, Donna, you got quite the vent today. It sounds like what's going on with you.
Well, I wanted to voice my opinion on something that's been bothering me for a really long time.
Okay.
I tried writing the newspaper and contacting TV stations, but nobody seems to want to stay with this. So that's why I'm calling you guys. Okay.
What's the issue?
Well, over the past few years, I've been involved in 3 separate car accidents involving deer.
Mm-hmm.
With the population and everything. Each of these incidents, they've occurred shortly after I saw a deer crossing sign on the highway. Well, my frustration is that Minnesota and North Dakota Departments of Transportation would allow these deer crossings to be in such high traffic areas. I mean, I didn't see them on the interstate. Why are we encouraging deer to cross at the interstate? I don't get it. That's such a high traffic area. I mean, I understand that deer are wild animals and they need to travel across the streets occasionally to survive. And now, of course, to find food, but it seems to me that so irresponsible of us to allow these deer crossings to be in areas where these deer are so likely to be struck by oncoming traffic. I mean, wouldn't you agree? I mean, it's just, I mean, you think they would put deer crossings maybe, in, smaller towns, maybe during at a school crossing. It would be a safer place for them to cross. For the deer crossing sign.
Deer crossings aren't telling deer that it's safe to cross there. It's just more of like an alert for drivers so they know it's like a high deer population.
The government put the deer crossings there. They can direct the deer population anywhere they want to by moving that deer crossing sign. I mean, why in the world would they place it on the highway or the interstate? I mean, God, there are so many other places I can think of than the deer crossing signs on busy highways and interstates.
You seem to be under the misunderstanding that the deer are somehow attracted to the deer crossing sign.
Well, yeah, the deer crossing sign is there to allow the deer to know that's where they need to cross.
Right. And all these car accidents you had involved a deer after you saw a deer crossing sign.
Exactly. I mean, I'm trying to watch out for the deer.
Oh, I'm really sorry. We can't continue on with that. I'm just going to jump on these 2 runners with a 5 and 25 stake. Actually, I can't because, then we've got number 12 down there as well. So I'd be as silly as this woman if I jumped into that race. But, hey, it could come in. But let's continue the saga.
I mean, speed limit's 55, 65. How am I supposed to, you can't brake really quick if the deer just is crossing in that deer crossing area.
So you'd like to see these signs move somewhere safer?
Right. If we can move them, don't put deer crossing signs on the interstate or freeways.
Yeah, too many there now.
Put them in lower traffic areas. Somewhere where the speed limit, a lot slower. Maybe small towns. I don't know. I think school crossings is a good idea.
Well, listen, we will. You say you've tried to contact quite a few people about this.
Right. Yeah, I wrote at least 3 or 4 letters and.
We will spread the word, okay? We will try to kind of help you.
Okay, yep, so that's it. And yes, you've also got Not to Share and Mujahu in the top half of that race as well. And also a really tough-looking favourite and great indications on the number 10, which is also wonderful each way odds. It's really no firm favourite in this race. It's extremely open, and there's quite a few runners that have been specced, so I am staying away from it. Of course, if I was going to be more aggressive, I'll be back in the bottom 3 in this race. So I'll be going the 12, 11 and 2. Yes, we're not all cut from the same cloth, or whatever they say. Yeah, look, it's not a bad-looking Dutch opportunity because, yeah, obviously you've got some good value about some of these top runners there. But for me, I'd still be looking at taking quite a few in that race. I'd go about it that way, and I'd be taking too many runners and just not going to get the value in, you know. You can only take as many runners as your bottom dividend, so typically, you know, you can only take, you know, 5 runners if your lowest runner's about $5. So, you know, that would sort of mean kicking out a couple of these bottom ones or trying to sort of trim things up a little bit. But a lot of indication in that race and a lot of different ways of looking at it. You know, Perry, that's one of those sorts of things. I know the way that you trade, and then also if you consider that, you know, if you consider that there's going to be 2 different ways of looking at that market. So there's going to be, you know, those who are following the $300 moves, home TAB, bottom of the market up, you know, following those little irregularities in the other half of the market. We've got 3 to do that with, and already we're faced with, well, geez, you know, like, believe it or not, everyone, you know, if you pick up a place getter at $4.40 and, you know, you've outlaid on 3 runners, your profit's still only about 25%. Seriously, it is. So, you know, like, it's still not great to do things like that, you know, take 3 runners down that neck of the woods and things, you know, like, yeah, for sure, we'll all do it at some stage, and I'll do it, of course, and I've done it in plenty of webinars. But, you know, it's got to be punchier than that, very much stronger indications for me to take against some of these things up here. The market's telling us that there's a few clear-cut winners up here. So even for, you know, you guys that are doing things in that sort of top, you know, higher end of the market, of course, there are a lot of strong indications up there, really good value on offer, but which one are you going to go for? Number 13, number 7, you're going to go for number 10, you're going to go for number 8. Number 3 was the winner there, so that was the early favourite, and they pushed it out and pushed it back in, and that's why it's got no colour on it, because it was just blowing out, and it's only just shifted up a little bit later. But again, you know, it doesn't take a lot of money to do that. There's only 10, 20 cents, a couple of dollars separating the whole field. So a race with $5.40, the favourite in the field, is no kind of favourite race. So then outside of that, you've got the 5 and you've got the 11. Number 11, I note, has come in for the place there. There's no way that we would have picked up the number 5. So, you know, if you picked up, if you went the aggressive end down there, as I sort of alluded to before the race jumped, for those that are doing things a bit more aggressively, and probably know that if I wasn't on here, that's probably how I would have went, then good on you for doing so. But it's very aggressive. It's not a safe-looking market, and there was quite a few indications in that race. So all you have to do is just ask yourself the question, you know, look, if that was the only indication of the race, would I take it? And if the answer is yes, then you've got to tick it as a strong selection, as one that you would take. Well, yeah, the calculation on that was there you go. Obviously didn't like some of these other indications up there, but, you know, it's okay. Now, Flemington's shaping up quite nicely.
It's a quick break before we head to Flemington. Chewy's new presents turning a father-in-law into a mate. Start with a word for this year. Improving every life. Show the world. and one thing better. If you go through something together. Welcome back to Sky Racing 116 from Flemington. Coming up, Lord of Brazil at 340 money favourite. Under the Eiffel of 688, 20 Rock Pegger. Dash for this at 991 Smart at $11 best of the others. The favourite coming up in the second against his two most recent starts. It's really valid last time now. Here at Flemington, prior to that for Darren here. Won 9 of 20 career starts overall. 650 about 4. And it's under the Eiffel, having run it before this campaign. And on the next one, it's heavy at $8.30. 90 seconds off the start, moving shortly. Previous event was the first thing in the 20 taken out by Menendez. And Steve. Under the Eiffel on the screen. And Fury riding for Tony Bassett. The favourite of those big top orders to the late half of the market. 319 and Terry here to Terry Bailey. If you do so, that takes me up to the Saturday afternoon. Thank you, company. Then Damon about to join you. I'll take you to the remainder of the afternoon and into the evening. Under the Eiffel with the tap of Conway U market. Moving here at 20 as we head to Terry Bailey.
These athletes running about to move in. The Lord of Brazil's been a big drifter on track. Hunters have been spot on the mark with the movers today. Under the Eiffel plays to the gate, about to do forward. Here's Prince of Armour moving in. Future Solutions had support under the Eiffel, well supported. Lane Command has shown up well for this. Coming off more than a year off the scene. And okay, last time in the big A mark some time ago. And he is back in on track 11 into 850 now $9. Dash with this in the white jacket. Chasm moving in. So they're moving in well. Hunters have got this right today. They didn't want to touch Warren Lane. He got clean a long way. They didn't want to touch Becky. He got safely held as well. And they don't want to father of Lord of Brazil. So
No guts, no glory, they say. 3 really strong indications in that race. I'm not going to bother turning the grey on. The pools aren't really that spectacular down there today. I mean, turn the grey on, it's just going to bring up a little bit of noise and a couple of other things. The only thing that I would worry about with the grey on is over quota, but look, 3 incredibly strong indications there. A bit of a quiet day. We're already, getting quite into the day and into the webinar, and they're super punchy indications. I can't walk away from those. It's a classic Rastafari there. Look, just really nice punchy indications again. Taking all 3 of them. Look, Future Solutions, each way dividends are going for a tumble now, and so is the number 7 there, but I have to do it. I think I feel that we're going to get a really good result out of those. They're incredibly strong indications. You really just can't go wrong with them. So one of those comes into the place, and they're going to, I will take a small hit because we need $3.60 to cover the outlay. Now Future Solutions coming right in now. So anyway, big late plunge.
Gates are back. Racing, jumped in a fantastic line down under Boy going back with Chasm. Little Boy Blue came out of the gate.
Myself a little bit on Betfair.
Prince of Armour and Snow covering the centre going very quickly. Under the Eiffel, fifth. Lane Command wide out going around Future Solution. They were being followed next to ball as they get going by Lord of Brazil in the centre. 2 lengths away behind those Rock Decker, the grey dash for this. On the fence, Lucky 88, well back down under Boy and Chasm, the tail ender. Little Boy Blue leads down the side. He's outside 2 lengths high over Quota. Lane Command straight up a length away at the 800 to be 3rd and 3 out. Prince of Armour the fence between runners, then is Snow Cover. A length away, Future Solution under the Eiffel on the fence. Lord of Brazil's got rough stake all around him. Rock Digger went past him from down under Boy Dash for Biz Chasm. And on the fence, Lucky 88 last of all as they swing for home. Heading to the 500 metres mark, Little Boy Blue, the boulder, a length and a half in front. Going after him over Quota. Lane Command slapped up going after the pair. Prince of Armour behind those. Here comes Future Solution running on. Lord of Brazil's in traffic and needing a run. Dash for Biz running on. Snow Cover getting through. Future Solution moved up to Lane Command and over Quota. Dash for Biz going after them on the outside, but it's Future Solution in front. Lane Command's kicking. Future Solution holding Lane Command. Future Solution.
Yes, first and second, that'll do us.
Lord of Brazil had no luck. He rocketed home late to be in a photo with Snow Cover. They were followed by Under the Eiffel, Dash for Biz. Behind those runners was Rock Pecker, Lucky 88, over Quota, Prince of Armour, Chasm, Little Boy Blue. And
nice.
Here the tail is Down Under Boy.
Nice.
Future Solution, the winner. Number 11, Daniel Stackhouse, jumping back into the saddle. Future Solution,
Highlighted the Flemington
$7.70. You win their race number 6 at Flemington, 11-7 and 5. Tim Lagrange, race number 5, 2 minutes away from the start here. Messiah's Jewel is $6, and our favourite, the 2, has been a bit of a move for the 6 hit.
$5. Sure is. Shartin, what's going on there today? 8 and 9 for me there. Wouldn't have got it either. Not 12 to 13 of me. Of course, we wouldn't bother looking at it on a Saturday, of course. I just still like to keep an eye on what's happening at Shartin, and it hasn't been too good for the last year or so since the money started to die off a little bit for the pools for Hong Kong racing. From Australia, anyway. We can't see what's going on over there. The preferable Asian markets these days are, of course, Singapore. So that's bumped us up nicely then. So $180 outlay. Like I say, I felt like I definitely had to do that and take the 3 of them. But the $368 return there is quite nice. No complaints. Warwick Farm is the next one coming up for us. So I'm just going to go back and see if there's anything that I've overlooked in between, but I don't think so. Well, maybe Morphettville, but I'm in no hurry to give any profit away after such clear indications. What you need to do sometimes is, print those off and stick them to your wall or something so that you... And the favourite in there third, huh? Okay. And number 12, where was that? Snow cover. Well, you know what? Snow cover, I was actually looking at that down the bottom with a bit of grey in the home tote there at 5 minutes, you see. And I was looking at that with the grey on. I just, didn't want to mess things up too much, and there was already enough for us to take with the stronger indications, of course. But really, wonderful, wonderful result with those stronger indications in that race. I'm noticing that the grey just is making things quite messy at the moment. It has done for the last month or so. You may have all noticed that as well. Now, off to Morphettville, of course, we won't be needing it on there. The pools just don't, at all good enough. Let's see if I can pick something up in play at Kendall Grange here.
Majestic Beast trying to come through on the centre. Duke Albert runs home. Access code nearer the inside, and Suits Us and Costa's it down the outside across the track here at the 100-metre mark. And the leader is Alistine, Frank and Beans. Duke Albert coming through late with Access Code, but Alistine holds on, and Alistine scores a neck to either Access Code or Duke Albert. Frank and Beans fourth, Costa's it fifth.
Well, that was easy. I just laid Majestic Beast at $2.14.
But they finish up at 4 and the 1, 3, 4 and 1 at Kendall Grange. Race number 5, Morphettville race 6, 3 minutes of betting time here. Maybe $3.20 as we take it with Grace.
Yeah, Warwick Farm's the next for us. Might take a break for about 5 minutes, just grab a glass of water and all that sort of carry on, and I'll see you back here shortly. Thank you. Still nothing at Morphettville there as far as I see it. And 3 indications. If anything, you've got the number 4, 6, 8. You know, it's really about your race there.
22 still away. It's first up today, 22. We're trying to close the gate on this one against the day. Can't get it all the way in this horse. Girlfriend. Now the next one to move up is T43 with here. Coming forward now. His Exalted Moment going in. So the last two to come up is Mega Queen, Chunky Little Girl.
He's big, big field of Warwick Farm.
This one, Gold Frenzy. He's out to 350 Mega Queen.
Billy is, hey? Jeez, that's a huge field.
Ready to run race 6. And they're off.
Triple Elegance, Racing Heart. Jeez, look at Racing Heart out at $120. Triple Elegance, Darcy Be Good. Nice Pack, Shadows in the Stars. Quidnunc, Merlin Mustang, Alma's Fury. They're all here. Thumbtacks. Cabernet. Lots of well-known names in that race. Certainly ones that go back a fair while. Monton. Oh, what's happening here, eh? Always full of opportunity, these big fields, but they can be a little bit dangerous too. So you've got 18 runners here.
Mega Queen though is clear.
A couple here, just with the home tote. I'm just going to tick them all now.
Second hit was Windermere Road. Third Governance fourth.
We've got almost $370,000 in that New South Wales pool currently, and that's going to grow, obviously, until we get down towards the jump. So we're going to be looking at a fair sized pool here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 600,000, but definitely will be $500,000. Even more than that, might end up with 700. But geez, there's some good indications coming in here. That number 12 Classics. I mean, all we want it to do now is to all we need now is for there to be a couple of solid goes for some of the runners upstairs to throw people off what's happening down here, because that is really a beautiful indication, and I don't want to see it get followed. So don't want anyone to even give it a mention. Merlin Mustang's got some interesting indications from Queensland. That's one that I'm keeping a bit of an eye on for any home tote movement. Excuse me 1 second. Not sure what that is, but anyway, did I say something? Shadows in the Stars, another one there. It's getting to the home tote movement coming in there at odds. And they're all interesting in this race. I mean, just it's going to be a tough one.
Sunset Showdown through the inside. Takes the lead over to carry the direct length and a half away. Boy Deep showing the gem from Star Peters advance at the rear. Sunset showed out of carry the drinks. They can't go on the mark. Out far left to halfway at 2 on Whiskey Highway. Sort of 5 tucked around the inside edge of the rear road. Showing the gem and Fox Star. Sunset showed out to the leader. Carry the drinks to the outside about 3/4 of the way. Sort of 5 down the inside. And now Whiskey Highway through it again. Takes the rear end. Hundreds brother Fox Star. Pete's coming home very well. Whiskey Highway leader to rear end.
Sorry, I kept putting you all on mute every now and then while I annihilate a few tissues. It's not a pretty sight at the moment, or sound rather. Oh dear, I am worried about these two little things in between. They can upset us sometimes, those indications. Mind you, I could take it just about everything in that race that I wanted to take and still make profit, no matter which one comes in for the place. But hey, you know, it's a fair risk to jump on all of those indications. 2 runners is costing me $120 if I go 10 and 50. So if I go 5 and 25 on each of them, then that'll be 120, and I'll probably just half mistake if I'm going to do anything. But that's what you have to do. Well, without the grey on, sort of a bit of a moot point. I'll tell you why. We've got a $500,000 win pool, so there's no way I'm turning that grey off. I want to see those. I need to see those indications. So it's one that's very difficult to turn the grey off on and feel confident about doing stuff. But with the grey off, you've got 2 selections, the 12 and the 8. So those following me here, you've got a couple of options. If you want, go the 12 by itself. Take the 12 and the 8 at the very least. But I think it's very dangerous to back against those down there, and I'm not going to. So that really, if everybody's looking at it from that point of view, then you've got a couple of options again, knowing best. Look at that. Look at the number 15. It's really, really very, very tough, this race. Very, very tough. Huge move for the number 12 there. I'm going all 4 of those just with a half stake, as I said before. And that's me. I mean, that's just, yeah, it's huge in terms of the amounts of indications in this race. It's massive. So good luck to everybody who took part in that race. And I wouldn't be surprised to hear that a lot of people didn't, because it's quite tough. It's certainly not a black and white affair. It's far from it. So, Triple Elegance down the bottom now. There's one I was keeping a little bit of an eye on earlier, just from that made a bit for us back in the day, a year or two back, and it's a big, monstrously big field. It's a big race. There's it's a lot of well-known runners in this race, which a lot of you aren't going to know, and it really doesn't matter too much. But what does matter is the amount of runners that have been spec'd in the other end of this market here, and that makes it very dangerous for us. And then you've got a couple up the top that have been spec'd fairly well also.
Holy moly, being tackled by Merlin Mustang. Darcy Bigot went up on the outside. Clipperton's about to bring Mont onto the outside from Racing Heart, then Shout Out Loud, and further back Kinnersley. And Cabinet's coming down the outside. Merlin Mustang and Darcy Bigot are fighting it out for the moment. Followed by Monton, Cabernet. Down the outside, Elmer's Fury rattling home with All Legal and highly recommended. Elmer's Fury and All Legal are starting to swamp them. They go to the line and it's All Legal. All Legal looks to have just with Elmer's Fury. Third home, Darcy Bigot.
How about that, eh?
Mustang, followed by Shadows in the Sun and then Classic.
How about that?
Isopac, highly recommended. Triple Elegance. Galar was back behind them with Quidnut, Thumbtacks, Monton.
How about that?
And Racing Heart, Kinnersley, Shout Out Loud, and lasting tailed off was Holy Moly. It's a photo, but it looked like...
Yeah, that's right. Elmer's Fury, it was the one, like I checked it out late. You just couldn't jump on everything at the end there. So, I think that I made the best decision that I could with the indications that were on offer in that race. And that was to stick to the anomalies and stick to the outside, obviously. Yeah, had to do it that way. That's right, Kerry. So. All Legal's got it.
Down the outside, they made their runs together. All Legal and Elmer's Fury. And I was waiting on the judge to give us his verdict here after a thrilling Billy Estates here at Warwick Farm. 1:35.81. It's a new race record. Whatever happened, they've taken a half a second off the time recorded by Monton. All Legal is first. Number 8.
There we go. We got it.
Field 15 was second. Elmer's Fury. Number 5, Darcy Bigot is third. And number 4, Cabernet is fourth. 8, 15, 5 and 4.
Well, there you go.
All Legal, $23 it's paid, and it's won very nicely. The Villiers for $23.
$23.680 the place, I might add.
90 cents it's paid.
Excuse me.
Our market mover, it's paid $4 the place in Darcy. Good night. 8, 15 and 5. Race 6, the Villiers.
Not a bad little pickup.
Trifecta, only $7,000. Race 6 at Colback, Bristol Reef.
Darcy be good too, eh? Yeah, there was a couple of little sniffs down that neck of the woods too. It's only in Queensland, but yeah, look, not enough to take it. But see, all those runners down there, as I was saying, a race with a lot of these runners down there, actually quite good runners. So, I won't jump into that side of things, and, but for those that sort of say, well, what would he know and all that sort of thing. Well, I say that I don't know that much at all. I know there's a lot more that I don't know than I do know. Unlike a lot of other people, so I'll always say that I know nothing about that side of things. But keep in mind, I do watch about 40 hours or so of racing every week, and have done for 10 years. So I've got to know something, I guess. Something must have got through that thick skull of mine, surely. Anyway, look, a lot of these runners have been around for a while. They're all great horses. They've all done extremely well for us over the years. I've got a photographic memory of sorts, and I don't forget when I've made money off things. And, there's a whole bunch of things in there that I've made money off in the past over the last few years, and I'm sure so have a few of you guys out there. So, but there was a lot of opportunity in that race at this other end of the market, and you really needed to cover yourself as much as possible. Now, off to the next. And we'll finish the year of webinars on a good note by the look of it today. Not that, it hasn't been a good note overall, I mean, I think last weekend wasn't too flash, was it? But the weekend before wasn't too bad. Well, yeah, I mean, we didn't get to see it anyway, so I threw a couple of dollars on it in play on Betfair, as I did with a whole bunch of them in that race, just to cover myself a little bit, and got matched on all legal at $24, which isn't too bad. Of course, if you're Dutching in that race, tell you what would have happened if you were Dutching at that race. All you're doing was taking the strongest home TV indications, as it seems a few people did, and you know, you could throw that number 13 in there as well, of course, and throw in the number 14 if you're going to throw in every home TV indication, and you threw in the number 15 as well, which was, you know, much further down the screen, as we all know. It jumped up, it was down here where the number 3 is. So if you were to chuck all of those in there, you're looking at 300% profit, which is a pretty good profit out of that race. Only a little bit better than taking 4 of them each way, of course. And then if you wanted to do that, and then, geez, good luck getting that number 5 in there. You would never have got that in there. Not as I see it anyway, not with a little bit of guesswork and throwing it in because of the Queensland indication or something like that. But, yeah. Good. For those reasonably new to all of this, you'll notice that I'm skipping past all these races at Colac and Moree and all that sort of stuff, and you can see the raffles that they are, and the, you know, for the whole of New South Wales on that favourite between 4 minutes and 3 minutes, for the whole of New South Wales, there was $92 invested on it. So hardly the sort of race that we're interested in. There's not even 10 grand in Queensland for the whole windfall. So you know, we concentrate on the metros, of course, on Saturday. Of course, you will see down the bottom of the market in this race we do have 2 runners, the 7 and the 8. Not that I'm particularly keen on that, you know, race in general, just looking at the amount of indication that's in it. Just overall, it's not real punchy. There's not a huge separation in the market or anything like that, but they are the ones. I better jump back over to live trading. I was supposed to send that paper trading off on what a Dutch might have done in that race, which $100 outlay for $278 profit it was. So. All right, so they are the only ones down there, $300 or more home tab indications. I'm going to take them both, again, with just a half stake, and I'm still not feeling overly confident. Well, not in that particular race anyway, so I've got a little bit of meat in the sandwich in terms of good enough profit to jump in with a bit of confidence when I see it. But, you know, at this stage, that's not a really great looking market. Now, hang on a second, what happened there? I jumped on the wrong runner. They must have swapped around just very quickly. As you can see, they've just done again now, and now I've missed out on number 8. So just in case it turns around and bites me, I'm going to jump on it in play, and I've just got matched on it at $26. So, but anyway, I really wanted those each way dividends. You know, why I did it. So anyway, if the number 6 comes in, that'll be a little Christmas present.
Miss Bowang, 3 deep around.
I'll look back over that on the recording later.
Whenever back on the fence, and Gundy Sellers last. The fifth pole leads on the bend, 400 metres to go, a half Silver Scholar. 2 Delago Bolt signified, Azawan pull to the outside. Whatever, sneaking up on the fence, then Gadale Maiden, Gundy Sellers starting to make ground in the straight. Delago Bolt got a sprint, raced up, went to the lead from Signified, whatever. Gundy Son, Gadale Mate down the outside, but Delago Bolt's raced to the lead with 100 to go. He's racing away. Delago Bolt will win by almost 3 to Gundy Son, and Gadale Mate will be third, Signified fourth. Then comes whatever. Azalan was next, followed by Silver Scholar. Then comes Miss Bowang, and the fifth hole's pulled up near the tail of the fifth. Delago Bolt, Jim Byrne, barrier number 1, and he drove me through a gap, one off the fence. There's plenty of room where it came, and then he just shot to the front, and away he went. And the son of Delago Brom, and he's the size of the previous winner too, Delago Billy. Delago Brom, so he's got a back-to-back double here, and trained by James Lyons at $5.40 and $1.90. Gundy Son will be second. Gadale.
Signified was closer than the other two, wasn't it? Anyway, it's coming fourth there. Won't be looking at Chartin. Won't be looking at Ascot. Flemington will be the next. It's already looking a little bit colourful. Let's have a look at Ascot just very quickly there. I saw something that looked a little bit interesting. It's this early hit, 25 minutes, so nah, won't be looking at that, and maybe the number 1 there as well, but again, number 4 looks a bit interesting. So is the number 1. Number 3 early as well. You know, it's not overly easy, but if you're looking 10 minutes down in this smaller type of pool, then it would only be the 1 and the 4 there. So not that difficult either, really, but it's just not an overly crash-hot looking market, is it?
One up there walks along, heading up into the gates. Just a couple in at this stage for the second. Newton at 3:30 with the Schwartzteam, an impressive winner too at his second run this preparation down at Bunbury. He won by a mile that day, and he presented really well. Looks as though he's come to the track here nice and fit. Now we've got Keep Fat and Fact to move in company with Karaka Diamond and Jet Cetra as well as Schwartzteam. First today went to Geiger Rio, led, which it doesn't often do. In fact, I can't recall it leading. Might have once or twice, but I just can't recall it. And they backed it like it was a 3-zone pop. It got to the front cheaply and was able to hold off heavy set. But they just kept taking any price at the finish. If the betting had gone on any longer, it would have been into odds on from $4. Punters were unrelenting about its chances in the opening event, and it duly saluted. So bookies right up against the ropes after the first. Now, Newton getting out to around 362 currently. Waiting for Karaka Diamond to move in. About to make its way up there towards the starting gates. And they're nearly ready for the running of race number 2. Stand by for a start.
Too many here, really.
The crossing pouring away.
Obviously.
Not rocket science, now have been switched on. Field is set, poised, ready now, racing as well, and it looked a great start. They jumped in a pretty even line. Jet Setra went back shortly after. Takash jumped out pretty quickly. Also coming away running from near the inside is Schwarze, but as they settle into stride, Takash is going to lead Schwarze, moving up, running third the outside, settling down Karaka Diamond. Behind them, Karatha crossing, pushing through, joining the Zotic and also Newton. And then a length and a half away, Wampy's Legacy down on the inside of Bear Express. Further back to Keep Fathom, Profound Effect, and then he's a keeper. And back towards the tailors, Jet Setra. At the 600, Takash led them out 3/4, running second is Schwarze, and they're being followed by Karaka Diamond, posted there on a limb, having to come off its heels and go 4 deep is Newton at the 400, but going up near the inside, Karatha crossing has had a sweet trip right behind the heels of Takash coming around the turn. The Zotic was at the head of the others, followed by Profound Effect and Bear Express, coming to the 200, and Schwarze and Newton have quickly gathered in Takash. Karatha crossing, she's getting up through a narrow opening further back. Profound Effect, Newton on the outside, just in front. Karatha crossing, Profound Effect runs off, but Newton's going to hold them all off, and Newton just wins. Newton fell in from either Profound Effect or Karatha crossing, with Jet Setra really scooting home brilliantly from the tail of the field late in the race. In behind them came the Zotic and Bear Express. Next home, pulling up behind those was Takash. They were followed then by Karaka Diamond. Further back is He's a Keeper, Wampy's Legacy, and towards the tail is Keep That. Newton, ridden by Paul Harvey, had to come 3 and then 4 deep to the turn, getting off heels and wanting to get marching. Karatha crossing was tracking up in a beautiful position on the rails, and then Profound Effect, who was back well off the pace, and Jet Setra started to run on.
Yeah, the 2, nice win. Just battled on and got it done, 370 and 170 Newton. The 2 in race 2 at Ascot. Very close for the minors there. We'll bring you second and third as soon as we can. As you can see, there's a rider change at Flemington. Dean Yendall gets a ride on the 10-1 shot, Crying All. Race 7 this is at Flemington. Tony Brassel's got the 2 on top. Mark Guest, he's got the 1, and you can make a case for plenty of these. Punters, they don't mind the look of Meritorious. It was $5 out to $5.50. It's now being backed pretty solidly. It's ticked its way along to $4.40 now, so Meritorious with 10 back into $4.40. We're getting overs at the moment with the tab. Our favourite, though, it is the 5, Tuscan Fire. It's $4.50. On track, it's been $4 out to $4.60. So Meritorious is the market mover. On track, $5 to $5.50, back into $4.40 and still moving. Now at Ascot, if you're waiting for those placings, 2, 9 and 3. 2, 9 and 3 are numbers at Ascot in the second. Let's head off to Flemington, race 7. Here's Terry Bailey.
In the beats, $7.90, Meritorious $4.80. Meritorious $4.80, favourite on track. Tuscan Fire's out at $4.60. The top 2 are at $6. Between the beats, $8.50 into 8s. Comic Court Handicap. First course with the shades off. I gave Board Horse moves in. Elusive King with the Barrier Blanket, Green Ducal, and also Traralgon Cup winner King's a Starter move in with and and Tuscan Fire. So they're getting set. And I'll repeat just how well Tuscan Fire did present in the RT. Look well.
A little bit ordinary this race. I think we'll leave it alone, obviously.
This is race number 7 on the card at Flemington. And they're running 2,000 metres on the Maribyrnong River side of the course. And Thornton to bring Tuscan Fire in, and Crying All should be the last to move up. Keep cool with the blinkers going back on. Meritorious.
No, very bland.
2 and under the hat should find cover when the gates open here. Now they're set. Light flashing. All clear given. Starter hit the go button. They're off. And Grand Ducal and Cryador going back. Tuscan Fire got a ripper out of the gate and went straight to the early lead. He's in front of Keep Cool and Meritorious and wide out on the track first course. Star didn't jump well. He scored wide and is bustling forward, but he's going to do a stack of work out there. Between the beats, 3 out. Under the hat, the centre, Elusive King pushing up the rail. 2 lengths away, Cryador, and 2 lengths to Grand Ducal. So Tuscan Fire in a new role today, leads by a length on first course. Keep Cool and Star continuing to push on. 2 lengths away, Meritorious behind that quartet. Then Elusive King on the fence from between the beats, under the hat, the centre. Cryador second last, and still at the tail is Grand Ducal as they come down the side. 1,200 metres to go. Tuscan Fire by a length on Star. Similar margin, Keep Cool in first course, 3/4 away fourth. 2 lengths away, Meritorious, joined on the rail by Elusive King. Between the beats, 3 out, under the hat in the centre. And on the rail, Cryador, and 2 lengths to the bowler, Grand Ducal. Coming up towards the bend, they've got 800 metres left to run. Tuscan Fire is the pilot. He's out by 3/4 on Star. 1.5 lengths away, Keep Cool outside of him, first course. Between the beats going up around Meritorious, who ran into a bit of traffic there. Elusive King likewise the fence. Then Grand Ducal, second last Cryador. And now under the hat is last of all as they turn. Star going after Tuscan Fire as they turn the bend. First course, 3 wide. Between the beats, 4 deep. Keep Cool going for the split one from the rail. Then came Elusive King. Meritorious pulled to the extreme outside from under the hat. They're down to the 300 metres mark. Tuscan Fire in front. Keep Cool's going after him. Wide around Elusive King, and then between the beats, Tuscan Fire, Keep Cool. Elusive King coming at the pair. Tuscan Fire, he's tough as old boots. He's fighting back on the fence. Keep Cool's going to him. Keep Cool, Tuscan Fire. Keep Cool put his head in front of Tuscan Fire in the shadows, and Keep Cool fell in the win from Tuscan Fire and Elusive King. Photo fourth between Cryador and under the hat. Then Star between the beats, Meritorious first course, and Grand Ducal last in. Winner of the race will be Keep Cool in a photo finish. Taking the trail up behind Tuscan Fire. And Elusive King on the fence, first, second and third on the rail all the way, and they come clear to find it out in the home straight. And Keep Cool at $10 and $2.60 goes on to win. Damien Lane, I think that is now his 80th Metro win.
Well, I did take a look at that, obviously, as well, that Keep Cool there. It's one of the only homes having indications in that race, but it's not the only one. You've got the number 3 there. You've also got the number 4, Keep Cool, and you've also got the number 1, Elusive King. So if you're going to take that Keep Cool, then definitely you've got to give a look to Elusive King there as well, and take them both, or take none in such a bland-looking sort of market. But that is quite a good indication. Good on those that did sort of pick that up. But it was less clear than a lot would appreciate, or less clear than a lot would understand in attendance today as well. So not prepared to sort of jump right out on a limb with things like that. But that, you know, looking at home TV indications, bottom of the market up, you had the number 3 there. You also had the number 4, Keep Cool, and you also had the number 1, Elusive King. Now, of course, having a look at the result down there, out of those indications has come first and third. You know, the indications are fairly spot on, just certainly not as punchy as some would want to see at this stage. All right, we'll hang out for this race at Warwick Farm Race 4, and then I think we'll wrap things up. And nothing going on really there. It's well at Morphettville, so we can let that one go, and we'll just go and wait for the next in Melbourne. Sorry, Sydney.
Sweet Talking Guy is ready, so the last one is Dirty on a Drink. And we'll be right here for race number 7. Last one going up. Dirty on a Drink is in the gates. We're ready to run race 7, 1,300 metres. Set. He lets them go promptly. And showing out soon after, Lion-Hearted Girl taken straight to the lead by a car. Seatrist lets her come across in front. Gold Bundle will box seat third, now second. Fourth is Strike Breaker outside of it, Zajian. About 3 lengths to Generous Bow. Second last, Sweet Talking Guy. And last of all is Dirty on a Drink. It is Lion-Hearted Girl by a length and a half. Gold Bundle came off the inside to sit 3/4 away second now. About 4 lengths Seatrist from Strike Breaker, then Zajian. Followed by Generous Bow, and then came Dirty on a Drink. And Sweet Talking Guys drop back to last. They race onto the side now. 600 to go. Lion-Hearted Girl, 3/4 Gold Bundle. 3 to Seatrist. Zajian moving around the outside. Strike Breaker on the fence, but struggling a bit. And then Generous Bow, the other two doing nothing. 400 metres to go. Lion-Hearted Girl, she slipped away. She led 2 lengths now to Gold Bundle. Zajian's running on, and then came Strike Breaker boxing on with Generous Bow. 200 left, little Lion-Hearted Girl leads by 3. In second spot, Zajian getting up on the inside. Strike Breaker. Lion-Hearted Girl is in front. She's going to lead and do it again. What a rapport young car has with this girl. Lion-Hearted Girl by 2.5. Zajian might be second from Strike Breaker. Close up, Generous Bow. Then came Gold Bundle. Seatrist dropped out. Dirty on a Drink. And Sweet Talking Guy came in a long last. Lion-Hearted Girl. So since Ned Walker decided to claim with Lion-Hearted Girl, he chose Jamie Carr. She jumped on at the mount at 1 by 10. It was 2 lengths in front of the dog leg. That's 2:20 to go. 1 by 10. Went to Warrnambool in a showcase. Led and bolted in there. Didn't see the Warrnambool run in the Port Fairy Cup. Rebecca Williams rode her there. Lion-Hearted Girl was saying, "Where's my girl Jamie?" So she's had 3 rides on this horse for 3 minutes. 1:16.69. 7 over 8.
It was a gutsy win to Lion-Hearted Girl. 3.10, $1.50. Very impressive. 7.85. Morphettville race number 7. Gold Coast race 6 will be next for us. The 5 here, Sweet Taboo, $3.80. That is our favourite break, and back with this race.
Tui's New presents Turning a Father-in-Law in.
Well, if we thought the last race in Sydney was hard, and we had to go a little bit wide and fish around for indications and all that sort of stuff here at Warwick Farm Race 6, have a look at Warwick Farm Race 7. Not looking real easy, that one. I mean, obviously the number 1 jumps out like nothing else, no doubt. Number 13 does as well, and then you've got a few 10-minute indications, or at least 2. Number 10 and number 12 is a little bit early after say, but it's still quite an interesting indication. Excuse me.
Odds. Disciple here is $3.80 and $4, which looks good value at the moment. In excess, $6 and $5.50. Ferment is $8.50 and $7.50. The Great Snowman, $9, $11, triple six, 10s and 11s. So that's the fixed odds betting for this Warwick Farm race. And you get the fluctuations on track. There is some interesting movements being made. In excess, the 11. $6.50, it got out to $7. They backed it now into $5 in excess. It's $5 on track. Disciple, well, it is drifting. $3.10, ticking out and out and out to $4.40 and looks to continue. And Ferment, the 13, 7s to 9s to 8s, then $7.50. So it's ended up just out half a point. But they're having a go at a few here. It's an interesting betting race. Warwick Farm race number 7, Disciple for Corey Brown, $3.20. It remains our favourite. We've got 1 minute of betting time before this Warwick Farm race. Colac will be the next race number 7, but let's go now to Warwick Farm.
Richard, yes, well, Disciple.
Yes, all very interesting.
Favourite down to $4.40 now. Up quite a good deal in weight from its last run, where they had the claim that Alicia Collett was inconvenienced there with the whip getting caught in the main, and it was a very good run, but it is up 5 kilos. So punters are just shying away from it. It's out to $4.60. Now we're waiting on 4 runners. Triple six is one of those with In Excess, 2 High Tech and at the crease. So 3 left to move in now. So Disciples out to $4.60 and the ring still short on the tote at $3.40. In Excess, 7 into 5, Ferment 9 into 7. So In Excess and 2 High Tech will be the last 2 to come forward for the Australian Surf Club handicap. We're running over 1,600 metres, the Villiers distance. In Excess goes up, and 2 High Tech.
Okay. 1 and 12 for me.
It's coming forward.
With the risk of backing against the number 10 there.
So they're all in.
And a couple up the top, but anyway, that's what we do. Great little indications, and let's
jump, they're off and racing.
hope they
At the crease came out a length behind them. Ferment jumped well from the inside and goes to the lead with Santi, and in between that pair is Fireball just easing out, and then came the Great Snowman. Bilko was next, Disciple on the inside, In Excess about midfield on the outside of 666, and then further back Queenian. Then Imperator on the inside as they sort their order out. At the creases, picked up a little bit of ground after that slow getaway, followed by Tunes and 2 High Tech's gone back to last of all. As they settle down now with 1,100 to go, and Ferment on the inside, led from the Great Snowman. Sans AM is third, 3/4 to 5 ball. Then Disciple getting a good run back on the inside in 5th spot. Following it is Bilko and 666, then In Excess, Queenian up on the outside. Then Imperator at the crease. Tunes are starting to roll forward 3 wide. And 2 High Tech getting onto the back of it. At the halfway mark, Ferment led, trying to slow them down in the middle stages. Led by 3/4 or so on the Great Snowman. And now he quickens up on the leader. Then Sans AM followed by Disciple. Further back was Fireball. Then came 666. In Excess is further back. Just up in front of it as they run to the turn, we've got Queenian and Bilko. And then at the crease and tunes followed further back by Imperator.
Come on.
Back near last is Too High Tech. It's for men in front as they round.
Come on.
From the Great Snowman. Sandsane coming to the outside.
Sandsane. Here he comes.
Down to the inside. It's about to come through and take the lead. It's Disciple from Sandsane.
Come on, Sand. He's going to do it. Come on, Sand. I put the Santa hat on for you and everything. Second will do. Woohoo!
Then at the crease and for men followed by Fireball, and then the Great Snowman, Too High Tech, Imperator, Queenian.
So that's it. I'm wrapping up and I'm going on holidays. Fuck you guys all. I've had enough. Goodbye.
And the heavens did open for it at the top of the straight and Disciple.
That's lovely. $4 off. Jeez, that's great.
Despite a big betting drift, 310 out to 460 has been too good. Pays unders on the tote at 390.
Disciple 390.
Well, I'll just
7-1 and 6 your number.
hang on. Yep. It's called the silly season, you know. See you all later. Enjoy your break and all that sort of rubbish, and I'll see you back here for webinar on Wednesday the 2nd of January. So I'm hardly even taking a break. Wednesday the 2nd, and training back on Thursday the 3rd. If anybody's got the guts to ask for training in that first week back, then you can ask for it for Thursday the 3rd is the first day back training. So have a good one, everyone. And, geez, that's finished us on a good note, isn't it? $481 up for the day. There'd be some a little bit better than that too, no doubt. So I could have had a shave, shouldn't I? Well, a bit rough there. A bit rough and gruff. That's me, rough and gruff. Got the bubbly open? No, mate. No bubbly. I've got what have we got in there? We've got some bloody cocktail thing. You know, you get the bucket and pour all the... Oh, mate, come and nobble my eggnog, please. I'm open for nobbling anytime. Not knobbing, mind you. Just don't be confused there. Do you want me to play the hat again? No, hang on, carry on, I didn't finish. A bucket which you pour this stuff into and you make your cocktails, you pour all your alcohol in it, then chuck them in the freezer. You know those ones? Margaritas and stuff. You buy the buckets of the flavouring and all the liquid shit that goes in it, and then you pour all of your alcohol in, like a whole bottle of tequila instead of 375 mils, as it says. Just bloody ridiculous. 375 mils. It's pathetic. Well, they think they're dosing 5-year-olds. So anyway, whole bottle of, whatever, chuck it in the freezer, it all gets frozen and into this slushy kind of thing. You put it in the glasses and, yeah, So I've got the hat. And the rest will be history to talk about when we're back next year. You know I won't be talking about any of that stuff. I don't like to incriminate myself. Do I? I think I might, actually. Oh, no worries, Bill. Hey, Bill, I got that for you. And for your horse. Okay, see yous. Bye-bye. I will no more of these shenanigans. Catch you all next year. Don't forget, weekly review back here on the 2nd, and I'm going to go over New Year's and all that sort of stuff as well, so that'll be a good one. Back all serious and stuff. Merry Christmas to you all the best to your families and everything else as well. I can't thank you all enough for your support and things. I wouldn't mind if you all jump on the Facebook page just when you've got a bit of time, please, just to get on there and put on some Merry Christmas wishes. And nobody answered me back, and it looks like I'm all alone here. Okay, bye. See you later. Have a good one. Catch you next year.